there ever was a formula for getting the best result through your efforts, it would be this: impose a demand, recover from a demand, best result. If you do not impose a demand, you won't promote the best result. Obviously, you're going to want to calculate your efforts in such a way to impose the right type of demand based on the result you want. And then obviously your recovery will limit the result that you get. If you can't recover from the work that you do, you're not going to get the best results from your effort. In fact, your result is largely in part due to your ability to recover. And a lot of people through their training will try to directly promote the adaptive response that they wish to achieve. Logically, this makes sense, but you don't necessarily need to try to directly promote the best response all the time. In fact, if you do so, you could very easily overwork your body's capacity to recover. So another option would be to indirectly try to promote the adaptive response that you wish to achieve through your efforts. And where I'm going with this is what you would do is you would perform what's called a feeder workout. A feeder workout is one in which your sole purpose for being in the gym is not to directly promote the adaptive response, but to promote a recovery response so that you can facilitate recovery and get the best results through your efforts. So what does a feeder workout consist of? Light weights, lots of reps, limited rest, to limit muscle damage. Obviously, the more damage you inflict on your muscles, the greater recovery demands you're going to have or need. So what you want to avoid is causing and inflicting damage. And you do that by using very light weights and just trying to pump the muscles, basically flexing them against resistance. What you'll do is you'll have an occlusion effect, which will create a hypoxic state. And when you disengage the muscles, nutrient-rich blood, hopefully, should flush into them, and that will facilitate recovery. Obviously, I say hopefully because if you're not eating right, then your blood's not going to be full of the nutrients necessary to facilitate maximum recovery, or at least recovery to the best of your capacity. So, your recovery is going to be limited by your nutrition, hydration, stress, rest, bunch of different things. But you can facilitate recovery through your efforts in the gym by channeling your efforts effectively and doing what's called a feeder workout. And you can include feeder workouts wherever the fuck you want. You can include them as a second session of the day. You can include them on a day in which you would normally take off. Basically, it's just a better way to include something into your training strategy for those who psychologically have a very difficult time taking time off. Some people have more stress self-inflicted upon them with the thought of taking a day off because they're addicted to training. And if they continue to train in such a way that they feel is best to directly promote the adaptive response that they want, they could overwork their body's capacity to recover. So feeder workouts are good for those types of people. They're good for everybody, but especially for those who have that, psychological issue where they can't take days off. And you can include them wherever you want for whatever body part on whatever day. Use subjective assessment of how you're feeling based on when you should include a feeder workout. You could even do feeder workouts for a couple of weeks at a time because you can still promote growth through metabolic stress and you limit muscle damage. Therefore, you can train more frequently. The more frequently you train, the more you recover from your efforts, the better result you're going to get. So a feeder workout is good for a bunch of different reasons, but primarily to facilitate recovery so that you get the best result, because the formula is impose a demand, recover from the demand, best result. You like the information, feel free to share. Click the fucking button at the bottom, subscribe to the channel. I'll keep bringing you the best. I don't give a fuck if it's snowing. I'll bring it every fucking day. That's how I roll.